Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of debate only, I yield the customary 30 minutes to my good friend, the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Hastings, pending which I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
During consideration of this resolution, all time is yielded for the purposes of debate only. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, on Wednesday, the Rules Committee met and reported a rule for consideration of a very important measure. The resolution provides for consideration of H.R. 2842, the Accelerating Individuals into the Workforce Act. The rule provides for 1 hour of debate, equally divided and controlled by the Chair and the ranking member of the Ways and Means Committee. Mr. Speaker, H.R. 2842 is a common-sense proposal to help transition welfare recipients into steady paying jobs. Moving welfare recipients into work is a central goal of TANF, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program. This bipartisan bill would incentivize employers to hire TANF recipients and help subsidize these new employees' salaries for up to a year to allow them to transition into the workforce. The policy idea behind H.R. 2842 is simple. Under this bill, states can establish partnerships with employers to hire recipients of TANF dollars. Through these partnerships, employers would receive a subsidy of up to 50% of the wage for a TANF recipient, while the other 50% would be paid by the employer. Beneficiaries would have to meet 3 requirements. They must be a TANF recipient, they must be unemployed, and they must have an income of 20% or less of the federal poverty level. H.R. 2842 will direct our resources to the neediest individuals and families to help accelerate these welfare recipients back into the workforce. Mr. Speaker, President Ronald Reagan once noted that, quote, "We should measure welfare success by how many people leave welfare, not by how many people are added." The legislation under consideration in today's rule is a fulfillment of that promise. Under H.R. 2842, state and local governments will be able to better utilize their TANF dollars to help move individuals into paying work and eventually help them transition out of the welfare system altogether. Helping people get back to work is a great deal for the individuals who will be helped under the program, for the employers, for the economy, and for the American people. This bill is, at its core, about helping unemployed Americans get back to work. Mr. Speaker, we are a nation filled with hardworking people, and I've seen over and over again how badly many of the unemployed want to return to work. Many, if not most, recipients of TANF are in the program not because they want to be, but because they've been forced to be by circumstances. These unemployed Americans want nothing more than to return to the dignity of the workforce as quickly as they are able to do so. This bill will help remove barriers to employment and will incentivize employers to hire current TANF recipients. Workers reentering the workforce is a good thing for society. Not only will workers who receive jobs under this program be taken off the welfare rolls, thus ensuring the continued success of the program, but these new workers will be better able to contribute to better lives for themselves, for their families, and for their communities. Here in Washington, we too often describe policy solutions as being, quote, common sense or, quote, win-win. But in this case, it's actually true. H.R. 2842 is a common sense solution and a win-win for everyone involved, the workers, the employers, the community, and the country. That's why this legislation will receive a substantial bipartisan vote tomorrow. Whatever their differences, Republicans and Democrats alike want to put unemployed people back to work. This bill will actually succeed in doing that. Mr. Speaker, I urge support of the rule and the underlying legislation, and with that, I reserve the balance of my time.